Howdy, y'all. It's the Beast of the East podcast, and joining me, this is actually America's podcast, I should say, but joining me to help execute this. No Israel tonight, so I'm not going to be overwhelmed with Dallas Cowboy fans. I guess that's what you two have in common. But it's Vinny Hardy, man. What's up, Vinny?
Oh, doing good, man. Can't complain. I think we are both Cowboys fans, and I think we're both born in November or something like that. So I had to hold it down this NFL draft week, so I had to come in with the Cowboy stuff on there, and we'll see what they do Thursday, Friday, and on into the weekend, and see what Stephen Jones and company
can pull out of their, you know what, right? Yeah, I'm kind of wearing Titan blue, I guess. I'm kind of in that. Yeah. I'm kind of in that weird middle of. I've been living in Nashville for 15 years. So do I go with the Titans? Do I stick with my Falcons, who are making it really easy to root against, or not root against, but just like leaving the dust? You know, I'm kind of conflicted here. So I'm kind of in like a 1A, 1B type scenario. This is kind of like going to be the make or break season for the Falcons if they can show any sort of improvement.
Make or break for your fandom with Marcus Mariota? Is that where we are?
Yeah, it's a contract year for me.
Yes.
If they could not finish last and make a few good personnel decisions, show me that they're on the right track, they can keep me. But you know, that's the good thing about NFL. You know, you don't get too attached, especially these days of free agency. But we'll get into that here in just a minute. But first, like I said, we are the Beast of the East podcast on the Bleav Network, also coming at you on y'all's conference network. On the video side, that's who we partner with to execute and to see us bring this thing to life. Our chat is open, but we are presented by Betonline. Our partners at Betonline continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. Don't forget the MLB is back as well. Vinny, we're obviously picking the Braves. They kind of struggled a little bit this weekend against the Marlins. Got to get it back, but it's still only April, so we're good there. But BetOnline is your continued source for all sports wagering needs, including live betting in your favorite Vegas, casino, and poker games. Super easy to get started. Head to the website today, or you can use that mobile device to join. Use our promo code Bleav. That's BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. It's where the game starts. So, Vinny, in the age of free agency with the NFL, really in all sports, but you know, since it's draft, we'll use the NFL. Is it becoming increasingly easier for fans to also join in on the free agent action? Like, meaning, like my situation, I'm going to be a fan free agent pretty soon. Like, is there any more loyalty?
It might not be. I mean, I'm one that once I kind of, made my picks, I stuck with them. But these younger fans coming up, they might move. If they like a player more than the team, they might move along. Or if the team does some silliness and they're not with it, they might just, take their fandom elsewhere. You might start seeing more and more of that. Once I picked mine when I was like 7, for the most part, I kept it, except for when the Hawks traded Dominique Wilkins for Danny Manning. That was just too much for me to. I couldn't. I had to leave the Hawks after that because that was he come off of Achilles. It's disrespectful. You never got him any help, and then you trade him to the Clippers, they weren't the Clippers that these kids know now, where they're good. These were the worst team in the league, Clippers. Jay Leno making fun of you on late night TV clip. That's where you sent Dominique for Danny Manning. So that was too much. I'll drop the Hawks. But other than that, I've kept my same team since I was a kid, but kids these days might not do it, and I can see why. They grip a little bit different than us.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, you don't want to jump at the first sign of trouble. And trust me, if you consider yourself a Falcons fan or a Braves fan, if you're still a Braves fan today, you did not drop your team at the first sign of trouble.
No, we
there
didn't.
We were spoiled in the '90s. I was a first grader when the Braves went to their first World Series. So like, that was my knowledge of the Braves. So I was a very spoiled Braves fan. But in those lean years, when they lost their first division championship in a 15-year run, and then they went down for a little bit. They kept trying. They kept making moves to get them to a certain level. They kept building. They kept figuring it out, and here we are. Like AA, or I can't pronounce his name, but Adam Anthopoulos or something like that.
Yeah.
Double A. When he started making moves, he's been a tremendous GM. He's been, Ronald Acuna, Max Fried, Ian Anderson. I could run down the list of moves, but the moves to rebuild that outfield when Acuna went down back in July was outstanding. I mean, that really kind of was a catalyst to this whole thing. And Jorge Soler, man, I wish we could have signed him. That dude is a machine.
Yes, I wish we could have. And so I catch myself. How quickly we forget that they didn't get over 500 last year to what, August? It took. It was late in the season before they got over 500.
They were 6 games back too.
Yeah.
6.5 back, like towards the after the All-Star break, towards the tail end of July.
So I'm catching myself now at the start of this season wanting to panic. I'm like, man, we lost another series. They split the first series with the Reds, who were going to be god-awful. I'm like, man, Snit need to call team meeting or something. I'm like, no. It's only April. It took them all summer last year to get rolling. It's fine. Just calm down.
Acuna's not back yet.
Yeah. It's a little championship hangover. Just chill a little bit. Olsen is doing good. Everybody was paid to see
Austin
Freddie
Riley is tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah. Ozuna's been hitting a little bit. Decided to keep him. All right. He's been all right. So it's going to be fine. They'll be fine. And, the Mets are up there at 12-5 or wherever they are, and they always fade like they normally do. By July, let's see where the Mets are.
Because that's the Mets.
Yes.
That's the Mets. That's what we love. And I got a question as a Braves fan. Everybody's so quick to be like, I hate the Yankees. I hate the Red Sox. I hate, I don't join in all that. I hate division rivals. So like the team I hate the most, I'm going to ask you this question. It used to be the Mets, like back in the early 2000s when they had Piazza and all that. And it was, Braves Mets for the most part. But now it's the Nationals. I cannot stand the Nationals.
Mm-hmm. Them, it's
really that whole division
between them and the Phillies. The Phillies is always up. They're always up there.
Of course, I don't hate the Marlins. They're too irrelevant to hate. But
yeah,
the Phillies, the Mets, the Nats. No.
Yeah, I think it's. I guess I'll still pick Phillies, and then Nationals are 1A, 1B. I don't really worry about the Marlins much at either. But yeah, it's kind of, and I don't hate the Mets like I used to, but whatever. It's something about Philly. As a Cowboys fan, I hate the Eagles most in the division, and I'm kind of still Phillies more so.
Well, yeah, because
Bryce Harper's over there, and
they got Bryce Harper. They're fans. Did you see Schwarber go nuts last night?
Yes, I mean, Angel Hernandez will do that to you, but still, I'm glad it was the Phillies and Schwarber, having to experience that. But we need to do, get that Angel Hernandez job. You look, be a weatherman. You can be wrong, get paid. Angel Hernandez missed pitches by 6 or 8 inches, no matter the location. Year after year, there he is getting checks.
I know. Takes a lot of abuse though, so I don't know.
He does.
He takes a lot of abuse. Now, I want to get a ruling on the Dodgers because I don't hate the Dodgers. I probably should, but I don't hate the Dodgers. It's kind of like Georgia and Alabama. Like I don't hate Alabama like most people think I should, because it's a fun rivalry. You know, the two teams don't hate each other. They do when they play against each other, but it's like a healthy rivalry.
You only play them 7 times a year. What Hardy went out there. They'll come to Atlanta later in the summer.
But it's going to be a perennial NLCS matchup probably.
Yeah, well, I guess will Freddie get his ring when he comes back to Atlanta?
Yeah,
Is that what they're gonna.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't hate them. I feel a lot better since Atlanta got even with them last year. Since they knocked us out the year before when we were up 3-1 on them, and so Atlanta's able to kind of get revenge on that and send them packing last year. That made me not have to hate them. I don't guess I hate them because you don't play them 19 times a year like you do the in division opponents. But Kenley Jansen is now over here with the Braves, so they've kind of done some swapping of players, and don't see them enough to hate them. But come October, it'll be, if they face each other, it'll be.
Oh yeah, I mean you get this
knockdown dragouts again.
You get in the series and it's like screw you.
Yeah.
F the Dodgers. We get an NLCS. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, but other than that, like you
don't hate them all throughout the year.
No,
now that you're not playing them, they can just whatever they're doing is fine. You're not really worried about it.
I enjoy watching Bryce Harper strike out. Like I'll see highlights of somebody. Like I'm glad Max Scherzer left the Nationals. Like I was happy when he left the Nationals.
Yeah,
because he's such a good pitcher.
He is. Grunts like a female tennis player when he pitches too.
He does, but he's not on the Nationals anymore.
Went to the Mets, and isn't DeGrom already hurt? Already.
He stays hurt.
Like he's shut down. Is he shut down for? I mean, it's always elbow, shoulder every year. Yeah, he's kind of like their Strasburg. Like Strasburg, the same thing.
He pitches limited innings all year long.
Never won 20 games in his career. Strasburg was hyped.
I don't think Strasburg ever started.
He came in with Freddie Freeman and Hayward and all them. He was their can't miss prospect. 10, 12 years ago. And he never really lived up to it.
Yeah. I don't know. But
it's him and Harper, and it was Freddie Freeman and Jason Hayward. Those were all the young guns coming up,
Yep. Hayward went to the Cubs. Freddie stayed. Now's a Dodger.
And Freddie, your last memory of Freddie is the last out of the World Series. I thought he would be back, honestly. And then, stuff played out the way it did, and the offer with the Dodgers, and maybe he thought whatever his agent. I was listening. Was it Dave O'Brien on The Athletic? Him and Erica Flaherty got a podcast, and like his agent, the way they talked, his agent kind of messed the whole thing up. Kind of.
Well, his agent gassed him up and made him, made him think that he should hardball, and made him think that Chipper doesn't know what he's talking about, and Chipper's like, yeah, you don't hardball the Braves. They're not gonna. Like that's not going to happen.
Speaking of Chipper is 50 years old now.
I know that's crazy, isn't it?
Lord have mercy.
But I remember seeing him. I was a young tyke, and here he comes. This Chipper Jones, C. Jones on his jersey. Like before you knew it was just Jones 10. He was C Jones, and dude was about as skinny as a rail. And just beating the ball around the yard, playing wherever. Never would have thought watching him play that he would have turned into the player he turned into. And my God, like he's incredible.
Yeah, switch hitter, kicking it at third base. Man, it's a legend.
Yes, when you get like in New York, you have to be special to get booed. Like if you're irrelevant, you don't really get booed. You know what I mean? Like they got on him.
He ate them alive.
They
he
hate
would
him.
wear them out, man.
I know. He was just a Met killer, man. It was
Yes.
Shea Stadium was like it was home away from home for him, dude. He raked in that
Couldn't
park.
get him out. Couldn't get him
No.
out.
They had nobody. Even when they stole Glavin from us, they still like Glavin went up there and just turned into a regular dude.
Yep. Sure did.
He turned it. You know, Glavin would throw those 88-mile-an-hour, but he'd paint the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't throw a hittable pitch.
Nope.
Like you couldn't barrel up. It was rare that you barreled up a Tom Glavin pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden he gets to New York and everybody is just taking him yard, and his ERA was triple digits. I mean, Jesus. But he had to go, right? Because he's the player rep. He had to take the contract.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like he was kind of forced into that. The Mets offered him the biggest contract, and that's what he had to do.
Yeah.
If he wasn't player rep, I don't think he would have taken it.
Yeah. He was just still play golf and been part of the greatest rotation. You know, he wasn't.
That's right. Him and Maddox.
Mm-hmm.
Maddox, God. Maddox cracks me up, man. Like he's like, yeah, I don't. People never had to tip my pitches or communicate. It's like, I'll just tell you what I'm throwing. It's a split finger, and you're not going to hit it. It's an 89-mile-an-hour split finger, and you're not going to hit it.
Yeah, and that two-seamer to lefties where he looks he's going to hit him in the waist, and then it bends back and catches the corner, man. Just every time, man.
Just nasty.
Like, precise.
Just
man.
pure filth, man.
Yeah.
Just pure filth. So
looking like
but anyway,
professor.
Yes, man, it's a thing of beauty. So we'll leave your baseball talk on that because you can't top Greg Maddux, right?
No.
So NFL draft, man, are you excited?
Somewhat. I mean, as far as like the lead up, I kind of. But then when it comes on, that first round, I'm like, okay, cool, here we go. Let's see. Because all the talking after a while, I just kind of whatever. Let's see what happens. All the predictions are done. Let's see what happens. And, always, once you finally get to it, then I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of like now tuning everybody out because I've heard enough. And come Thursday evening, let's go.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who's going where, who's going to take quarterbacks, things like that. I mean, I'm curious because it's going to affect Baker Mayfield. It's going to affect Jimmy Garoppolo, some of the receiver selections. Where does Pickens end up? How's it going to affect Jarvis Landry, who's still out there? He's the number one receiver on the board, still unsigned. Melvin Gordon's still out there unsigned. How's the draft going to affect where he lands? And then, of course, I mean, there's a couple of Bulldogs in this one, right?
Yeah. Speaking of, I mean, I was looking at blogging with the boys from their predictions from my Cowboys point of view, and they were predicting second round pick, 41st pick in the draft. They were speaking about former dog George Pickens. Amari Cooper's gone. CD Lamb and Gallup and all those guys we're gonna see, but hey, I'll take Pickens. I wouldn't be upset at that pick if it played out that way because who knows how the scenarios are gonna happen between now and then. But
be interesting.
That happened. I'd be okay. Come on, pick.
It wouldn't surprise me that Pickens would fall to 41st, but it also wouldn't surprise me that there's a huge run on receivers and some team panic picks him at like 20.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't surprise me either. Because there's 10 really good wide receivers, and they all could possibly go in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
The two guys, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave from Ohio State. Obviously, those two are the best. But you got some SEC guys. You got Treylon Burks. You've got George Pickens. You've got Wan'Dale Robinson, who's in the mix, and I'm sure I'm leaving out somebody, but. Outside the conference, at Drake London, you have. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Dude from LSU. Yeah,
Butte?
I think
Kenyon Butte?
I think
I thought. You know what? I'm I'm gonna look at this list, Vinny. I'm gonna quit screwing it up. I'm gonna look at this list. But yeah, I mean, you got lots of good receivers that I'm pretty sure there's going to be a run on, because like, what quarterback are you going to pick first round? Honestly,
Not this year.
yeah, I'm not touching that. You know, the biggest debate is what's going to happen with Jacksonville. Who do they take? You know, Trevon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson. They're looking defensive line. Sauce Gardner. Where does he fit in? Kayvon Thibodeau, Malik Willis. Does Malik Willis go number 2 to the Lions? I think that would be foolish. When I think you get some value at the quarterback position, or you may even be able to just sign somebody, you know, and just wait till next year. But, you know, build up your defense, build up your other positions. That would be the prudent thing to do. I mean, you could draft, like if I'm the Lions, I could draft Sam Howell. If I'm going to develop a guy, I mean, you know, draft a project, spend your first round talent on somebody like Sauce Gardner, who pretty sure didn't give up a touchdown. So
you roll with Goff until Howell gets ready?
I mean, you're the Lions, dude. You're picking at number 2 every single year. What do you have to lose?
Yeah,
I mean, guess what happens if teams can't score on you? It's hard to win when you can't score.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have Sauce Gardner out there, I mean, you're giving your defense pretty good shot at. I mean, you know, their front seven's not horrible.
They were in a lot of games last year too.
They play hard.
Baltimore had to kick a 70-yard field goal to beat them. So,
I know. I mean,
there were a lot of games like that for them. Maybe
their back end,
their way.
Their back four let them down a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
Goff is not the answer, but I don't think he's the problem either. Like I think you can survive another year with Goff. It's not ideal, and if there was a better quarterback, I mean, I think Malik Willis is going to be a good quarterback. I just don't think he's the number 2 overall prospect. I think you can get better value at 2. If you want to pick Malik Willis, trade back. Don't pick him at 2.
Right.
Like, trade back with the Panthers. Like, if you pick him at 6, that's okay. I mean, I know that's a difference in 4 spots, but like, you know, Sauce Gardner ain't going to be there at 6. Get a lineman, get somebody that can protect, get somebody that can, you know, I don't know.
I hope the Cowboys get some linemen too, because that O-line ain't what it used to be, even though it's still got a good reputation. It's been declining for some years, so I hope they address that.
Yeah, like, you know, the Texans, who do they get? They got 2 first rounders, 3 and 13. You know, do they? I mean, obviously they need offensive line help. They need wide receiver help. They need some weapons for Davis Mills. Like, Davis Mills was drafted in the 3rd round last year for the Texans. Solid player out of Stanford. Has had a tremendous finish to the season. Didn't start off all that hot, but had a tremendous finish. They need to build weapons around him. They need to be able to protect him. But also, again, Derek Stingley sitting there, it's awful tempting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's awful tempting. And for damn sure, if Sauce Gardner sitting there at 3, like, I'm racing to the podium. Like, I'm not even taking time. I'm not even letting time elapse from the clock. I'm racing to the podium. I'm building a paper airplane with his name on it and throwing it at the commissioner.
The like, Texans are on the pick is in.
Pick is in. Yeah, I mean, you know, Christ. I'm not so sure the Jaguars shouldn't pick Sauce Williams with their first pick.
Just pushing Goodell out the way to announce it themselves.
We picked Gardner. Okay, you could say it. Like, I mean, come on. You know?
Yeah.
Ekwonu, guaranteed I butchered that. But NC State's offensive tackle, he's going to be there. Tackles are hard to come by.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad deal. Charles Cross from Mississippi State, he's in the mix. He's going to be a top 10 guy. The Giants seem to be a good fit for him. Evan Neal on the defensive front. Trayvon Walker, if he's still there, Kayvon Thibodeau, if he's still there as an edge rusher. I think when you look at Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, some of the teams will need wide receiver help, like the Jets could pick Drake London,
or Debo.
Yeah, or they might trade for Tebow. Who knows?
Tebow's up out of there.
Yeah. Like I know the team picking at number 8, the Atlanta Falcons, could use a number 1 receiver. You know who their number 1 receiver is right now? If you get
Ridley?
this, no. Ridley is suspended for a year.
Oh well,
and he's probably no longer ever going to be a Falcon ever again.
He's probably still the number 1 receiver.
They're going to release him. They're going to release him. So no, I don't consider him as a part of the roster.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, he's going to get released. Okay. Let's just.
Okay.
They owe him too much money to release him right now. They're going to let him be suspended for a year, and then they're going to release him, I bet, or trade him.
So okay, since you don't consider him part of the roster, who's the number 1? Yeah.
Olamide Zaccheaus.
Oh yeah. You got no worries, nothing to worry about. You should go into the season confident with him as your number 1 receiver.
So Olave's there, no brainer for the Falcons, right? Number 9,
Cal Pitts in year 2. What's he gonna do?
Well, if he gets Chris Olave, he might be able to do more than.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he can't be the only weapon.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the end of the day, he's still a tight end.
Yeah.
Like, if everything else around Travis Kelce evaporated, the Chiefs wouldn't be what they are, even though Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the game. So, yeah. What are you hearing about the Cowboys? Besides receiver, George, in the second round, what are you hearing first round? Are they going obviously defense? Like, what if Jordan Davis is sitting there?
Wow.
Do they go Jordan Davis? What if they could use some interior help? What if there's a guard sitting there?
I would hope they take the guard. I saw projections for K Mays in the late rounds.
What if Chucky Cross is sitting there?
I mean, kind of like you would.
Do you draft a slot guy? Treylon Burks?
It's a lot of ways you can go. I mean, it's so.
Like they could. Do you draft Nakobe Dean? Kyle Hamilton?
Dean and Michael Parsons. And Vander Esch, I don't know how healthy he can be. He's
needs
back.
Some inside backer help. Yeah, you need some inside backer.
He got a lot of Sean Lee in him. He kind of can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
There's so many. I don't know. So many ways they could play it. And
yeah.
Yeah, the slot. I still think O-line slot. If Dean is there, golly, that dude.
Yeah. I think Nakobe Dean will be there.
Him and Parsons just hunting. Ooh, goodness gracious.
Now the knock on Dean is he's too small. Does that worry you a bit?
No, I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
Do you go up and get Jameson Williams?
Oh.
I got you stumped, don't I?
Yeah, I mean, because all of it sounds good. You can't do it all, but
no,
all of it in theory is like, oh yeah, that would.
Do you go defensive tackle with Evan Neal if Jordan Davis is not there? Devontae Wyatt.
They could use some D-line help too.
Mm-hmm.
Got some guys getting old, and
that's interesting.
The project, he's there from Kentucky last year, but he didn't play a lot.
He'll develop.
Kelvin Joseph got to quit tripping and watch his associates.
Yeah,
he can keep his career going. So I don't know. So he can, stay in the league and not be like a Dwayne Goodrich for Tennessee back in the day and get to play.
Yep.
A lot of plausible sounding stuff, Corey. I mean,
there is a ton of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but you have Cross, Iquanu, and Neal as your tackles that are sitting there. If any one of those fall, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, if you get a Derek Stingley, if any of these top 10 guys fall for whatever reason, a run on a position, maybe a quarterback gets, maybe Matt Corral gets taken sooner than he should,
Possible.
Sorry, Steve. But who knows? Who knows?
Niners panic and grab him or something.
Get yet another quarterback. We like Kenny Pickett this year, so we're gonna trade. We're gonna have the richest quarterback room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just
like your top three prospects are Willis, Pickett, and Corral. Like that's so weak. Like this is Like I don't get it.
No offense, Steve, and thank you, Steve, for Keydron Smith and who went the Jaquez Jones route, transferring to Ole Miss to Kentucky. So appreciate everybody down at Oxford. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how do you feel about those transfers?
Kentucky's got bang for their buck when they've hit the portal. All 4 guys last year worked out.
Levis.
Derek Rosenthal, Wandale Robinson, Jaquez Jones, all those guys panned out.
Yeah.
Boss man fat, Kevin Joseph, we just talked about him needing to keep his nose cleaner in Dallas. He worked out coming from LSU to Kentucky the year before. But, Keydron had to holler at Jaquez and see what the landscape was like. And it'd be worth my while. Dudes talk. And that was kind of a position of need. Vito Tisdale was out for the year, lost him in the spring. He played corner and safety. And so they were kind of thin. They knew they were going to have to get somebody in the portal. So you get a guy that's played safety and corner at Ole Miss, been in the fire. Talked with Chris Collins, the DB coach, had him on my other podcast, Cats Talk Wednesday. And he liked where the young guys were, liked where they were at this point. This was right after the spring game where we had him on. Liked how some of them were stepping up. He kept talking about putting their hand to the fire and getting burned. And what it's like, getting reps and getting experience. But bringing this dude in who's already battle tested is definitely gonna help. Even though you got your Andrew Phillips coming along, Carrington Valentine coming along, put him back there with Tyrell Asian, who's an old veteran, old graybeard compared to these young guys, and kind of not be so thin because they were thin back there. And so this is a big get for them.
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
good.
Steve. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it, Steve. Yeah. So on the basketball front, and I'll get back to football here in just a minute, but on the basketball front, Georgia's racking up, man. We got from Oklahoma State, Matthew Alexander Moncrief. We were able to get Terry Roberts. We were able to keep, I guess you could call it out of the transfer portal, but we were able to rescue Super Cario Quindo. Braylon Bridges, rescued him from NBA obscurity. I think this team is, Jabari Abdur-Rahim, I think coming over from Vanderbilt, maybe. Got a few transfers coming in, and I think he's doing quite a good job with the basketball program so far at building talent. So I'm excited. This is crazy, man. Like I am excited. Mark my words. Excited to watch basketball now. Wow. So I cannot wait. I know. Can you believe that? I cannot wait. So, also to answer your question and answer all the viewers' burning questions is, where's Israel? Well, Israel's doing spring practice right now. He just started on at Ware County, so he's going to be coaching the Gators of Ware County down there in the Granite Bowl, I think is what their stadium is called. But he's going to be offensive coordinator down there, and they had just kicked off spring practice, so they, it's pretty intense over there, and I'm pretty sure it's a good drive from Albany to Waycross. So it's going to be some crazy couple of weeks for him.
Yeah. Congrats
And
on the new gig. So
and back on the football tip, Kane Williams from Alabama get a transfer. And the same with your transfer. Is Ole Miss going to give a waiver, or is the conference going to give them a waiver? Both defensive backs, Kane Williams, head to Georgia, and Alexander headed to Kentucky from Ole Miss, from Old Mississippi.
Yeah, Keidron Smith.
Who did I say?
You said
Alexander?
Yeah.
Why did I say? I don't know why I said Alexander. I saw. I got my eyes kind of got away from me there for a second. No, Keidron Smith. You're right. I keep wanting to call him Keidron Alexander because that name just rolls off the tongue. Is he going to get a waiver?
I think he should be coming in
because he missed the deadline for the interconference transfer to play free.
I think he's good to go, as far as I know. But
I mean, behind the scenes, I think you would have to get that waiver. So, just be on the lookout for that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's this whole debate about Stetson Bennett on Twitter. Jake Crane put it out there: the top 10 quarterbacks coming in next year. An omission was Stetson Bennett. How does the Kentucky fan view Stetson Bennett?
I mean, you gotta respect what he's done. You gotta, even maybe sometimes the narrative that he's this plucky walk-on, lifelong Georgia fan, that all kind of got, maybe from my perspective, I don't know how the rest of the conference feels, that all kind of got shoved down your throat because that's all you heard. All you heard, Stetson Bennett the fourth, Georgia fan. His granddaddy was a Georgia fan. That was kind of the way.
So does that cloud your judgment a little bit?
No, I mean, and he kept warding off all the challenges. So I have to give him that. They would bring in dudes, and he would still keep his job. So I'm like, there's something to be said about that. As far as, is he like elite? Is he the best? Is he just head and shoulders above everybody else? Do I think other quarterbacks could have played for y'all and maybe won a title? I would say probably so, because y'all were loaded. We were. I think Levis could have won a title with y'all. Yeah,
I could have played quarterback probably for that with that defense. I mean, geez.
At the same time as I give him respect, it almost sounds like I'm knocking him, but I don't think I really am. I just kind of, he is what he is. I don't know.
He didn't have to.
Dude, and
he didn't have to play great, but in a lot of instances he did.
Yeah,
he fits what Todd Monken wants to do because he moves well with his feet. The dude is just you can't explain Stetson Bennett. He's just a gamer.
Plucky walk on. I don't want to call him that, but he's a plucky gamer. Just rise to the occasion. Do what he has to do.
Gets it done, man. I can't explain it. Can't understand it. The dude just shows up. And just like you see him walk out there, and you're like, "Wait, that guy?" And then he carves you up for 300 yards, and like you can't tackle him.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Wait a second, what?"
So if y'all feel that way, then I don't feel so bad for feeling that way myself. Then, so
I mean, it's just like
it's still a mystery to y'all. Then, well, hey,
it is what it is. I mean, it should, the dude just wins, man, and I appreciate that. And the people still knocking Davis. Stetson.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby. That's right. And the people still knocking him, they can take a hike. Because the dude just gets it done, man. People look at him like he's this 5'11" former walk-on, and that's been crammed down our throat. And I think that has clouded people's judgment because people still don't see him as having a live arm, which, I mean, he doesn't have a Josh Allen type arm, but it ain't weak.
Mm-hmm.
He can make just about every throw you want to make. Does he make mistakes? Yes. Does he have blunders? Yes. Does he make some questionable decisions? Absolutely. Sometimes he plays like a guy that's trying to win the job. And
Right.
you know how like in preseason NFL, like punt returners and kick returners will take chances that they normally would never in a million years take.
I'll have to go back. I'll be back at UPS if I don't get this. I don't.
Exactly.
I don't get this.
Stetson Bennett's like if I don't make this play, being the cashier at Raising Cane's is going to be the highlight of my life. Not playing football here. So yes, he would make those type decisions, but he had a defense that could back him up. So from what I saw in the spring game, it just looked like he was dialed in. It just looked like he had that rapport with his receivers. So I can't call it, man. I can just enjoy it. That's all I'm gonna. I'm gonna stop trying with that, and I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna enjoy it. He got us a natty. Yeah, he got us a natty. I'm just gonna enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Stetson Bennett is the guy. If you haven't embraced it, embrace it.
Now the thing that ticked Kentucky fans off, which happens every year, and will probably happen again this year, is beat South Carolina, and then the following year they're always picked ahead of us in SEC media days.
Mm-hmm.
You ranked all these quarterbacks. Spencer Rattler, last thing we knew, he was riding the pine at Oklahoma. He's already ranked ahead of Levis at South Carolina, where he's done nothing.
He's the best quarterback in program history. I mean, what do you expect?
So that's what Kentucky fans were in an uproar about. Like, this dude got benched. We beat them every year we play them the past 7 or 8 years.
But at the end of the season, Kentucky will be here. South Carolina will be here.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
But it never carries over. It never carries over, which it doesn't matter. The standards of what they are. But
again, seared into the memories of all these voters is that midseason, whatever you want to call it, that Will Levis had, where he just could not take care of the ball.
Yeah.
Like whatever that was.
But when you've been beating Muschamp and Beamer and whatever, and South Carolina will still get picked ahead of Kentucky.
I get it.
So
I get it. Levis is a better quarterback than Rattler. Levis will be in a better system than Rattler. South Carolina is going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be an easy win.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has been.
They get mayo dumped on them again.
Yeah. Hey, Sobbin Goblin. Hi.
Coming at you. Chat in a while.
Mm-hmm. I know. With a name like Sobbin Goblin. See what they bring to the table. A
little bit dark.
A little dark. It's a Twitch. It's from Twitch. We're on Twitch. Hi, Twitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're on Twitch.
Platform just everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's what we do, man. We're everywhere. You can't get rid of us. You can't stop us. You can only hope to contain us. So, yeah, I don't get this. I don't get these rankings though. I really don't. Like I'm gonna pull up the list. And it's a national list. It's not an SEC list. It's a national list. But let's see. Okay. All right. Here's the top 10 returning quarterbacks for the 2022 season, according to 24/7 Sports. Number 1, Bryce Young.
That's fair.
Number 2, C.J. Stroud. Number 3, Mr. Perfection himself, Caleb Williams. Number 4, Sam Hartman from Wake Forest. Number 5, Tyler Van Dyke. Number 6, Spencer Rattler. Number 7, Brendan Armstrong from Virginia. Number 8, Dylan Gabriel. Number 9, Cameron Rising. And number 10, Grayson McCall. From 6 through 10, it's an iffy list. Hooker's not on there. Bennett's not on there. Levis is not on there. I'm trying to think of any other quarterbacks. Bo Nix, who's going to be, he's not on there. Maybe he should be. I don't know. Do you put Graham Mertz on the list? Do you put, is he somebody at Wisconsin that's pretty good? Dylan Gabriel, I don't know if he gets a nod because it's Oklahoma. I do like Cameron Rising. I do like Grayson McCall. I do think both of those guys are deserving. Cameron Rising, what he did at Utah was just scary.
Mm-hmm.
But Rattler, Brennan, and Gabriel, I'll see it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got the wrong SEC guy at 6. I mean, I think you flip a coin, Levis, Bennett, or Hooker. I might even give the nod to Hooker, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Hooker's good, man.
Surprised me, man. He surprised me. We saw him played him in the Belk Bowl, play Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing special. And he came into the Heupel system and picked it up, kicked what's his name? Who was Joe? Who was a dude from Michigan that was supposed to be the man?
McNamara? Oh, Milton.
Yeah, kicked Milton to the. I was about to say Mixon. I was like, it ain't Mixon, Milton.
Milton. Oh, Milton.
Kicked Joe Milton to the curb, and
oh boy,
they lit it up. So yeah, you got to give him his props. And as far as returning guys in the SEC, he's got to be top half of the league, top third, whatever we're gonna put him.
Exactly. So Sobbing Goblin, real quick. She's been going to streamers, small amount of viewers, give them a message. Found you guys seem cool. I say you're absolutely amazing. You're going to do amazing things as long as you never give up on yourself. And if you need someone to tell you that they believe in you, I believe you, even if I don't know you. Hope your day is amazing because you deserve it.
Inspiration and motivation from Sobbing.
Wow. That's probably the nicest thing that's ever been said on a podcast chat from an anonymous source. Well done. Bravo. Man, whoever gets George Pickens is going to get their Steeler watching his film. I see why teams think he's top 3 receiver in this draft. Yes, because he's tall, he's fast, he's extremely physical, and he can twist and turn and contort his body. The dude is special. The dude is a slightly less healthy version of James. Well, I don't know at this point. They both will have ACL histories. So him and Jameson Williams are kind of the same dude. Williams might be a little bit more polished route runner. That's about the only thing I think the difference is.
And it's crazy, but the Alabama guys kind of get showcased a little bit more than Georgia. Just still smashing everybody with the eye, and everybody that sees Alabama sees the highlights of them hitting slants and just taking them to the house, and that kind of perception-wise gives them a little more mustard. And
but you also see George Pickens making these like ridiculous jumping catches where,
and he wasn't against Alabama. He just caught the back nose of the football. He just caught fingers on the nose,
just like that, diving forward, all that stuff. Yes, yes, he did. But George is no longer ground and pound, or like I used to call it, grunt and punt. They're opening up a little bit, which is good. I think Kirby's starting to realize that now.
Is this ridiculously jacked high school running back coming to y'all this coming year? Is he gonna be a freshman this year? I've seen him just.
You talking about Branson Robinson?
Squatting 15,000 pounds, and he just looks like Mr. Olympia. Is he?
You talking about Branson Robinson?
I guess I've just seen.
There's a 17-year-old kid named Braylon Allen who's an early enrollee at Wisconsin that's doing that. He deadlifted like 800 pounds.
I thought y'all were getting a kid that I just saw him in.
I mean, Branson Robinson is built like a hero action figure. If you're
maybe that's
trying to figure that out,
but Braylon,
he's coming in. Okay. He'll be a summer enrollee, but I think the dude you're talking about is going to Wisconsin. Braylon Allen, that dude is a monster.
Oh, okay. I thought sure y'all were getting that. I thought that was.
Yeah,
what's Braylon, the guy y'all are getting?
He's the one that's been viral about it.
The Wisconsin kid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought he was coming to Georgia.
He's the viral one, Braylon Allen. Yeah.
All right.
No, dude has been. My friend Matt Perkins, my guy. He's sent me stuff on him.
Perko.
Perko, yeah, he's killing it with Bleav in Badgers, right?
Yeah. Just man,
he's a Badger at heart.
He fluctuates, and
He's a Badger at heart.
Can't really blame him. I mean,
he's a Badger. I mean, he grew up hardcore Badger.
Well,
he didn't grow up a Badger because he's from the Northeast, but he went to school there.
Yeah.
Who is the deadliest running back? Are we talking about Hardy boys? Are we talking about in the conference?
Oh wow, these are my little boys. Mike and Chandler got their little YouTube, so they're watching, and before they go to bed, they're commenting.
Okay. Well, who's the deadliest? Is it gonna be Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah, maybe so.
I mean,
Chris Rodriguez is gonna be in that conversation too.
I mean, Kendall Milton.
Yeah,
it's got to be up there. But Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be there. John Emery from LSU is going to be there. Zach Evans.
Yep.
I mean, maybe
appreciate
Zach
the
Evans.
Question, Micah and Chandler, my 13-year-old, 9-year-old, with their Hardy Boys Challenge channel. So
that is a really valid question.
It is.
It's a really valid question.
Watch this. Dad put his stuff on YouTube. We're gonna watch it.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
I was speaking of, I got to talk. Flipping the basketball. Oscar Tshiebwe decides to return to Kentucky for another year.
Look at you.
He was, basically, I've said I'm Bleav in Kentucky all along. Hopefully, he can just make a stress-free decision because it was looking at the draft where you're not going to be lottery or first round. Mom is in the Congo in a horrible living condition situation, trying to get her to the States. But the NIL deal was held up because he's a foreign student with the international, work visa and all that. Looks like that was able to get worked out. He's been leaning and wanting to come back. So he's going to be able to, looks like, get his mom out of that situation. Another year at Kentucky, work on his game for the NBA. And I was like, just make your decision where you don't have to be like, I'm not even sure if my NIL is coming. I'm not going to be drafted as high as I hope to be yet. So that was going to be a stressful, what do you do? Because you got real life situations facing him. So now he was able to kind of get all that behind him and get his mom to come over. The other thing, BBM was up in arms about Shaden Sharp, top player in the country, who enrolled midway through last season but did not play, has moved on and put his name in the draft. Didn't sign him with an agent, but he's probably going to be top 10 pick, and he's probably going to stay in the draft. So everybody's upset that you had him on the team for half the year, and you didn't play him, and he just moved on. But you can't blame him. When he first enrolled, Kentucky was rolling. They were killing everybody. They were beating Kansas and North Carolina and Tennessee by 20 and 30 points. So there's really no way to work him in at that point. Then everybody gets injured toward the end of the season, and you lose to Flake Peters in the first round. It's like, is it fair to throw him out there now? So it was kind of it was just a tough situation. Sounded like his mentor is the one that shut it down as far as him not playing. His parents wanted him to play, which I'm like, if you're the parents, overrule the mentor. The kid wanted to play, the parents wanted to play. But it was just a weird situation. Well, I doubt he comes back because he's probably going to hear what he wants to hear from the NBA. So you had Oscar Tshiebwe.
If he gets picked in the top 10, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what the feedback is going to be.
So, you want to know what the good news is?
Yeah.
You're still Kentucky.
True.
The name on the front of the jersey still has power to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It ain't like this was Ole Miss losing probably the best player they've ever had in their entire existence. Right. Like that'd be like if Georgia got Anthony Edwards halfway through the year, didn't play him, he goes on to be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Like the best player you've ever had outside of this man named Dominique Wilkins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe so. But it is what it is. Kentucky will get another one, I'm sure.
That's it. Is it 2-2 with Minnesota and Memphis beating Anthony Edwards? Is it 2?
Dude's making an impact.
And
Tom Crean only went to the NIT second round with him. Just saying. Just saying.
Keeps it up. That could be his team more so than Carl Towns if it keeps going the way it's going too. Because
when they drafted number 1 overall, they knew it was
Yeah.
going to be his team.
yeah,
It's Edwards' team.
yeah. Because Towns went number 1 too, but he's not really. Edwards is kind of.
If Towns just settles into that number 2 role,
Mm-hmm.
Towns could be a really good number 2.
Yeah.
But Edwards has got that star power. He's got that pizzazz. He's got that
he's just put it on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And they should be up 3-1. They ought to be up 3-1.
He just takes it over and ignites the crowd. And Towns is just a remarkably solid basket. Like he just plays at a high level all the time.
Yeah.
I don't see anything flashy with him.
No.
But he is extremely reliable, which is that's good ability.
And they ought to
reliability.
be up 3-1 too, Corey.
They should be.
They choked away a 26-point lead
in
the first game in Minnesota. So
that's right.
That's
right.
It's a fun series though.
I'd say it was not a fun series. That Hawks series.
Oh,
they're getting killed.
Yeah,
they're just not a good matchup. Miami's really, really good. Wouldn't shock me if Miami came out of the East.
They could.
They're good.
Choking the life out of them.
They're good and they're physical. They play a kind of an older school style of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's
you got at the top. You got Pat Riley and Alonzo Mourning is up there. It's just tough, physical,
and I love it. Spoelstra used to take a beating as a coach. Yeah, they tried to get rid of him. Like LeBron was like, "Yeah, screw this guy."
No.
And like I'm kind of like as kind of a middle finger to LeBron for that. Be kind of funny if Spoelstra won.
Really
oh, maybe it wasn't Spoelstra. I'm not some LeBron hater, but I do think that'd be a funny bit of karma.
I like Spoelstra. He was like the video guy, man. He worked his way all the way up. He was putting together, clipping, splicing tapes, and nobody knew who he was. And now he's worked his way up, and he's a great coach, man.
Coach of the number 1 seed, and he's doing it without LeBron and Wade.
Yeah, sure is.
Ooh, excuse me. That EOC testing, man. I tried to fight that one off. Couldn't fight it off.
It was jumping out. It was coming out regardless.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I guess it tells you what you need to know. Time to get out of here.
Time to get some Z's.
Time to catch some Z's. Like I was thinking about this, and I noticed it yesterday or a couple of days ago when I didn't shave for 3 days, and I had kind of a beard, and I was wondering. I was like, I bet people wonder why I don't grow a beard. Like, I looked in my beard and there's some gray hairs. I'm like, that's why. Not ready for the gray beard. Plus, my beard comes in red. Like, people think I'm Irish. Yeah. People think I'm Irish. I might be part Irish. I don't know.
What nationality is Burton? Burton, what is that?
It might be Irish. It comes in like slightly red, dark red.
Is Burton? What is?
I assume it's English.
Oh, okay.
Or Welsh.
Man,
maybe by the judge of my beard, it might be Irish.
Corey Burton.
Corey Burton. Hey. Guinness beer.
He's from South Dublin. Corey Burton.
He's a wee old lad. He's a fine chap.
Man, so red and gray, or just red, kind of.
Oh, yeah, some gray in there.
red and pepper.
Yeah, be seasoned salt and pepper.
Red and salt, yeah, red and salt, yeah.
It'd be a cayenne and pepper.
That's it.
No, paprika and pepper, or whatever. Yeah. Whatever's red. Some pepper flakes in there.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper flakes in there, yeah.
What about just goatee?
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's red. It comes in red.
Does Mrs. like it? She's
No,
like,
she
keep
no.
it shaving. Just
Like,
shave.
just keep it shaved. But like I had a goatee in college. You know the old MMA fighter Tank Abbott?
Let me look him up.
Look him up. They used to kind of look like that with a goatee.
Okay.
I mean, I had the full on, like, I gotta find a picture of it. I had the full on deal. Like, it was thick. Did the beard once.
I can't grow a beard. Oh man, that's it. That's dude 57 years old. Wow.
He was original UFC.
Huh.
Back when it was called Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Man. He got the full, yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't grow a beard. It just scraggly hairs going all different ways, but so I never. And it is a lot of gray in there, just like my
Yep. Mm-hmm.
dad was too. He had a big white Lovey Smith beard.
Oh yeah.
That's the way it was. It was all just white. Yeah, and so I can't grow one though. It's just splotchy, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean they would come in full as day, but I would be Irish. I'd be Corey Burton.
The COB.
COB. I gotta find. No, there's a picture. If I find it, I'll post it. There's a picture. I dressed as in college. I dressed as a rugby player for Halloween. Full beard.
Just embrace it.
Just leaned into it, man. Just full Irish rugby shirt too. Like I was fully Irish that night. It fit, and it was freezing cold, and I was wearing like booty shorts. So, but on the note of me wearing booty shorts, that's where we're going to end it. Don't want to scare us anymore. Cut.
Oh,
But we are the BCD's podcast on the Bleav Network, coming at you on the Y'all's Conference Network on the video side of it, presented by Betonline.ag. Vinny and I thank you for joining us. However you found us, find us again, tell a friend, find us on social media. It's right on down there below. You can find our shows at Bleav in Kentucky, at Bleav in Dawgs, respectively. So that being said, we wish you a great night and have a great week, and we'll see you back here post-draft Monday to break it all down. So long. See you later.